Good morning, happy Monday. It is Monday, I believe the 9th. Is it the 9th? Let me check. Yes, it is. It is Monday, the 9th of March 2020. And I've had a relatively good weekend. Please excuse the lens flare. Please excuse the poor audio if the sound is quite bad. Again, these are things that I am working on slowly. But what's been happening over the weekend? Well, I've been watching the news. I've been listening to the news. I've also been going to the gym and almost killing myself doing that thing. But, you know, it is what it is. But no, I've been watching the news. And in regards to coronavirus or Covid-19, I still stand by the fact that we should not panic. Roy West, good morning. We shouldn't be panicking. As British people, we've never been much of panickers, really. In the grand scale of things, we shouldn't be panicking. We shouldn't be panic buying. A lot of people that I know personally have gone to supermarkets just to do an average shop, to pick up a few bits and pieces, and they've found that there's been no toilet paper. Think about how stupid this is. Imagine, if you will, how stupid this is. You go to a supermarket because you think it's a smart idea to stock up on toilet paper, knowing full well that Covid-19 does not give you a shitty arse. It doesn't happen. So you buy all of this toilet paper because you believe that if you have to self-isolate, not when, if you have to self-isolate, and then for 2 weeks or however long you're at home, you then have toilet paper. You then think, great, aren't I clever? I've stocked up on shit roll. But what happens if you've stocked up on all this toilet paper and you don't have to self-isolate and you don't become ill and you've used all of this toilet paper within the space of 2.5 to 3 weeks, and then you want to go out and buy some more to find that there isn't any because your greedy bastard ass took it all along with every other greedy bastard out there. Think about that just for a sec. So I just want that to get out there. Pasta is another one that people are stocking up on. Non-perishables, I can understand that. In fact, to be fair, in my kitchen we've always got an abundance of rice and pasta anyway, which is good to have. You know, tinned foods, what have you, but please don't go mad with it. There's no need to panic, is there? I mean, if push came to shove, you could actually have shopping delivered to your house, even if you did have Covid-19, and the people delivering it could take all the bags out of the boxes, leave it well away from your door, then you could come out the house, if you were up to it, with a mask on, and grab your bags, and then go back inside without ever having to interact with people. Think about that. They're just, you know. But anyway, let's get on to why I think the UK, the government here, isn't doing enough. I'll tell you why I believe the UK government isn't doing enough. I said, must have been a week or two ago, that if it was down to me, I would cancel flights all over the shop. I would cancel flights. So for me now, because the Prime Minister is about to hold another COBRA meeting, you know, Cabinet Office Room 1, COBRA, that's what it stands for, in case you didn't know. And no, Room A, sorry, please forgive me. Cabinet Office Room A, COBRA. So I believe that this should have happened a long time ago. Cancel all non-essential flights. So cancel all holidays. See, if you cancel your holiday, you won't get your money back. If the government cancels it or the airline cancels it, you do get your money back. There's the difference. Cancel all non-essential travel. Only allow flights in and out of the country that are with goods and services. You see, goods and services is what we should be allowing to and from this country. because things that get on and off of said flying vehicle can be disinfected, can be antibacterial in bulk. They can be doused and sprayed. You see, these are the things that should be going in and out of the country, is essential flights, not non-essential flights. And I know airlines will take a hit for this, but to be fair, I would assume most airlines are multi-billion pound companies, and if they can't withstand this for at least 3 to 4 weeks, or they've got some sort of contingency, then more fool them. I would imagine Stelios is rubbing his hands together because he's got a lot of fingers and a lot of different easy pies, hasn't he? So I think personally, all non-essential travel should just stop in and out of the UK, and that includes by ferry and Eurostar. Non-essential travel, stop. What I also believe is that I wouldn't so much say curfew in effect, but I think once you're home from work and you finished doing what you're doing and you live within the town that you live, so say if you finish work at 5 and you live in London, you have to be home by at least 8 o'clock and then not leave. You know, so a sort of curfew in effect. If you haven't got it, you've got a certain time to get home, and then once you're home until you have to go out in the morning, not pissanting around going down the pub. I know it sounds silly, and I'm going to get a lot of criticism for this, but I genuinely don't care. And this is another thing that I'm thinking that should happen, is public transport. Now, I've said this before. I work on public transport. I am a bus driver, okay? And I can say 100% from first-hand experience that buses are not clean. I don't care how clean they look. I know the people that clean these things. They work in the same place I work. I see what they do and what they don't do. And what they do not do is wipe all of the handrails with a clean microfiber cloth. They don't use antibacterial cleaning spray to clean them. They don't use any Dettol surface spray to kill any bacteria. They don't hoover the seats. They don't spray the seats with antibacterial spray. They don't mop the buses half as much as they should, because every time, well, not every time, 90% of the time when I get on a bus, yes, they've given it a sweep, but they haven't mopped it because it's still covered in sticky substances. So all they're doing really when they wipe surfaces down on these buses is they're moving dirt from one place to another, quite possibly spreading Covid-19. If it does get on public transport, we're all fucked. You see, that's the long and short of it. If Covid-19 gets into the transport system, I wouldn't even know until I was probably laying up in bed with a nasty cough and a wheeze, struggling to breathe. I wouldn't know. And this is what's scary, is how silent it actually is. Look at the sky. The sun's coming up slowly in the east. But doesn't it make you think? You know, it's like, doesn't it make you think, is this government doing enough? No. This UK government is not doing enough. We should have stopped all travel a while ago. We should be imposing certain curfews. In fact, to make it even better, I would say curfew. We backtrack a little bit. Curfew for under 18s. Once you finish school, go home. Go home, and unless you actually have left school and you work and you finish at 6 o'clock or whatever you do for a job, go home. You're not allowed out on the street. This is just, again, because young people, teenagers, believe it or not, don't wash their hands. They struggle to wash their hands after they pee. So why are they going to wash their hands after touching a surface that they don't know has been licked by some moron? So we've got over 200 cases in this country. and a third person, unfortunately, has passed away from COVID-19. And I want to know, how many more people will it take to get infected or die before the government actually does anything? You see, what Italy is doing is they're locking the place down. They should have done this weeks ago. Italy is the worst hit place for COVID-19 in Europe, and they're only starting to do something about it now. You can go out, you can have your coffee, you can sit in your bistro, you can have your meal in a restaurant, but you have to be just over 1 meter away from any person at any given time. Personally, for me, I actually quite like that idea, because I like my own personal bubble anyway, especially when I'm on public transport. I don't like people standing too close to me. I don't like people pretty much standing like they're trying to give me a stand-up lap dance. I don't like that. I like my space. If I can't stretch my arm out in front of me, then I'm pretty much going to get off the bus or get off the train and continue said journey on the old shoelace express. I like my own personal bubble. But that doesn't really happen in this country, does it? No, we need to have rules and boundaries. Italy's doing too little too late. They should have done this weeks ago, lock places down. And what we should be doing here in the UK is doing exactly that now. Do it now. Do it now. Get to 111 now. It drives me absolutely mad the way it will be too late. What will happen in this country? And I'm going to make this a prediction, okay? We will get to 1,000 cases in this country, more than likely within the next week and a half to 2 weeks. This is what I'm predicting. And I'm predicting up to at least 20 people will have passed away within the next 2 weeks. Would it take that many people getting infected and that many people dying, do you think, to actually get something done in this country? Do you reckon? I don't think so. I reckon it will be longer than that before anyone pulls their finger out and starts saying this is what should be happening. I reckon it's just a case of cleanliness at the end of the day. COVID-19 is not invulnerable. It can be killed. There is no cure for it yet. There is no vaccine, but it can be killed. Alcohol-based hand sanitizing gel, hot water and soap, for example, kill it. Most germs actually don't like water anyway, because if you saturate them, they actually drown. So even if you don't have any soap, if you can hold your hands and scrub your hands under a hot tap for a prolonged amount of time, chances are you will kill it by default, because the cells within it, or its makeup, it will actually swell up and die, because they don't like being overhydrated. The germs, no, they die very quickly. Soap just helps things along with killing them. We're not doing enough, is the long and short of it. I see this where I work. What I would like to see ideally is a brand new task force out on the street doing what they did in China, funnily enough, which I think was a fantastic idea, is go around the streets and disinfect everything in bulk. Spray everything with antibacterial whatever, antiviral, just whatever it is, kill it. It's it's just getting out of hand, isn't it? How many more people are going to die before Boris Johnson takes this seriously? How many more people are going to get infected before he actually says, right, you know what, enough's enough. I'm closing borders to non-essential travel. If you were supposed to be traveling, you are protected, you will get your money back. And businesses are taking a hit. Supermarkets are loving it right now. Supermarkets are raking it in. Supermarkets are literally making a super profit, one would imagine. But smaller businesses may be taking a hit, like my friend's bike shop. people may not be wanting to go out and buy a bike because they don't want to just non-essential purchases. You know, I don't know. That's a shame, it really is. Companies that are going to end up losing out financially because of the coronavirus, is the government going to bolster them? I think they should. What I think the government should be doing, in fact this is governments across the globe, is filing legal legislation or whatever they do to try and get financial compensation from China. This is what should happen. This is another thing that should happen, because here in the UK, our scientists are working absolutely tirelessly trying to find a cure or an antidote or something for COVID-19. We have some of the best scientists in the world, and even if we did find it and patent the cure, we can't manufacture it over here. It would have to go to either somewhere in the European Union, somewhere in America, or somewhere in China. So what do? If we find the cure, do we patent it and then sell it on? Or what we should do, being human beings, is no matter what country finds the cure for COVID-19, whatever country finds a treatment for coronavirus, should be open and willing to share this with whoever is willing to make it for free. And that whoever makes it for free should make it and distribute it for free. Because this is, unfortunately, from what I can see, another sting that the pharmaceutical companies in the world are rubbing their hands together with. I guarantee there are pharmaceutical companies out there that are absolutely loving the idea that COVID-19 is about, because they know once they get their grubby mitts on whatever formula it is to make this thing go away, they can charge pretty much what they like, and that shouldn't be the case. Whoever finds the cure, whether it's the British, whether it's the Chinese, whether it's Americans, Australians, whoever in the world, whoever finds the cure or treatment for COVID-19, and whoever manufactures this cure for COVID-19 should all do it for free, with 100% communication, 100% transparency, because this, as far as I'm concerned, is for the good of the human race. It is. It is. I mean, according to some pleb that was on the television the other day, I didn't see this. This is something that I saw on the social medias. Apparently, and don't take my word for this, apparently, up to and over 500,000 British men and women, and maybe children, could die from COVID-19. I can tell you now that will not be the case. No, I mean, that's a bit much, don't you reckon? That is a bit much. I think this time next year, we'll all be talking about, oh, do you remember 2020? Yep. Ah, yeah, the year of the coronavirus, the global plague. That's what it'll be. Not an actual plague, but, you know, it's the COVID death. Whatever it'll be, it will go down in history as a global threat. 2020, the year, how can I put it? A majority of the globe became infected because of a sloppy wet market in China. Think about that. I mean, it shows you really how quick germs can actually spread, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I mean, there's been adverts and God knows what on TV for years for antibacterial sprays and gels and soaps, showing you the luminous green phosphorescent colouring, how easy it is. Germs can go from one surface to your hand, from your hand to your face, from your hand to another surface, and then it spreads and someone else touches it, then they touch their face. It's been happening for years. And I can't believe it's taken up until now for people to actually realise, oh shit, I suppose I better stock up on some soap and some bleach and clean my house. That's another thing. It's not just toilet roll that's disappearing. No, no, no. It's not just toilet roll that's disappearing. You go to some supermarkets and you try and find some bleach. Oh, I'm telling you, it's like dirty, stinky, scummy people that never wash or clean their houses, kitchens, bathrooms, living rooms, what have you, are suddenly having the urge to clean their property, isn't it? I've always got cleaning products in my house because I'm very house proud. I like living in a clean house. I do. Some people, for some reason, think, oh, I know, love, just go and don't shop. Why is that? Oh, I've got to get some of that bleach stuff. Yeah, apparently it gets rid of that brown stuff, don't toilet. Really? Really? You know, if you really want to make a spray at home, what you can do is get an empty spray bottle, because most of us have one. What you do is you put about 50 millilitres of bleach in it, some fairy liquid or other washing up detergent, and you top it up with hot water and give it a shake. You then have a bleach-based cleaner, which would more than likely kill any kind of bacteria. Very good for getting rid of mold spores if you have damp. Very good for cleaning surfaces, multi-surfaces, even kitchen floors. Give it a spray, it works. Instead of buying the expensive stuff, buy cheap bleach and make your own at home. There are ways of dealing with this without being stupid and panic buying, isn't there? Many ways of dealing with this. But we're not doing enough. The UK government, as far as I'm concerned, is not doing enough, not by a long shot. And I think it's going to get to a point where we have over 1,000 cases and over 20 deaths before it's actually taken seriously by Bojo. And that's sad. Anyway, please leave a comment down below. I've been banging on about this for the last 23 minutes nearly. Thank you for watching. If you have managed to stick all the way this far, cheers. And yeah, take it easy. Happy Monday.